Okay, we're back in Uncle Joe's workshop. I'm going to talk about sanding metal today. Once you finish your filing processes and you need to clean up your edges or get the shape just right with file, then you're ready for sanding. And the idea behind sanding is I want to prepare the surface for polishing. And I want to get rid of any deep marks or scars or scratches that might still be left in the metal. So first thing I'm going to do is think about the grit that I'm going to use. Normally, if you're doing wood, you end around 400 grit. Well, in metal, we want to start with about 400 grit to do what we're doing. This piece is not scratched up too much, so I'm going to go with a 500 grit, just a little bit finer paper, and then I'm going to finish with 600, and then I'll be ready to move on to the buffing machine. But you don't want to start at least at 400. So as I begin this process, thinking about metal, I want to always sand my metal in two different directions. So I'm going to sand the length of the metal this way, and I'll spin it around to do the other side. Same direction. And then once I've sanded this, now I'm going to look for any marks or scratches in this metal by turning it 90 degrees and sanding it again. And so I'm going to sand across the piece this way. I'll spin it, do the other end. And now I'm looking for any scratches that might be left in the metal. I have a few fine marks in the metal, but I think if I sand one more time, start over again, I can get rid of it. So I'm going to go this way. Not too bad. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees one more time. Do it again. You may have to repeat this process 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, depending upon how scratched up your metal is. Now, that looks pretty good. Now on the edges, you might see some marks that were left from the scars or whatever left from the file when it was filed. And so I can do the same thing with the edges. I'll turn my metal up on end, and I'm going to drag this metal across here. And as I do, I want to spin the metal a little bit so I don't end up in any flat spots, because it's a rounded, curved shape. And I can remove it all the way around. Sometimes you get a stubborn patch. I know in the back it's got some rough areas, and I like to clean those up. What I can do for a place like that is I can take the paper and place the paper between my thumb and the piece of work, and I can draw that paper through there with just a little bit of pressure, and it begins to clean that up. And you can see there's some marks left at the top edge on this. For what I'm doing today, I'm not too worried about cleaning it up. Normally I would sand this all perfect and get rid of any marks or scratches. This happens to be a recycled piece of jewelry. Okay, not too bad. Anyway, you can still see some marks and scratches in there, but that's the back. I'm not too concerned about that right now. Last thing I do is finish with a little finer grit. I have some 600 grit sandpaper, and I'll finish this surface one more time. And then I'll check for any scratches. Looks pretty good. Go around the outside edge. I've got a couple marks here that I could probably clean up a little more, and one at the top. So I'm going to use the same 600 grit, finish it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so it's cleaned up. There's no scratches left. Now I'm ready for the polishing process. Again, if you don't have any, if you have any scratches left on here, you're not going to be able to go into the polishing process. The buffing machine, even with a bobbing compound, will not take out those scratches. So it's better to use sandpaper, spend a little extra time in this part of the process.